What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Road to Sulphur series.
Looking really strong though. Keep going.
If you missed episode 1, we released it a couple weeks back, just kind of introing what I'm doing and who I am. If you don't know me, my name's Will. I'm a physiotherapist and I also am one of the founders at the movement here. I'm running 50K in May at the Sulphur Springs Trail Race. So we're kind of just documenting the journey along there. Today, it's gonna be a little bit different. We're putting away the running shoes and we're stepping into the gym. I'm gonna be taking you through a strength session and just kind of how I integrate strength training in my kind of running training. Put a lot of thought into it. I would say just as much thought into my strength workouts as I do into my running program. We're gonna be going through and just kind of showing you what it's all about. All right, starting off with some squats. I got 4 sets of 4. So we're just kind of warming up to begin with here. It's the start of a training block, so this isn't going to be my most intense lifts. Kind of just kicking off the month, but the intensity will kind of naturally develop as we go. Normally I don't take too much time between the warm-ups because I kind of want to just get to the working set, but mainly it's like I'm sort of just feeling how I'm feeling, how the weight's feeling, and trying to get to a particular intensity. So today it's going to be like, a moderate intensity, so like 7 out of 10. So I'm kind of just like each set asking myself, like, am I there yet? Is it around a 7? The way I kind of determine that is, do I have a few reps kind of in the tank? So if I were doing 8, which I might do in a couple weeks, then it would be, do I have a couple reps in the tank? And if I were doing like a 9, it'd be like, I could maybe squeeze out 1. So it's kind of what I'm thinking about as I'm going is sort of how heavy's the weight feeling? How close am I to that intensity? Like, to me that seemed pretty good as I'm working weight. Like I could keep going, but somewhat challenging, good way to kick off the month. Ooh.
Always love seeing guys getting after it.
Despite the fact that we're strength training today, I did run, short run today. So I'm just recovering from a little bit of illness, trying not to do too much, but I did a 30-minute run today. And if you're Canadian, you can probably relate. It was a bit of an interesting run because it snowed, what do you think, Dalton, like 20 to 30 centimeters last night? And so I was literally running, like jumping in the snow on the trail. And the whole time I'm just like, holy crap, this is about as tough as a 30-minute run gets. One thing I focus a lot, as you can tell, is resting between my sets. So I think that's something that a lot of people end up turning their kind of strength sessions into cardio sessions by not resting enough. But the goal here is to be working on my strength and muscle building. So, you actually have to, especially after like a heavy set of squats, like actually sit down, take 3 to 4 minutes and rest between the sets. So that's what I'm doing. All right, moving on. Good sets of squats. Now we're gonna do front foot elevated split squats. Usually for my legs, I'll have something squatty, something lungy, kind of play with different variations, but what I'm kind of focusing on here with this is getting nice and deep and into this good like deep kind of ankle bend, so getting some good knee over toe work, which is something I need to strengthen, you know, with doing like the trail run. It's a lot of time spent running downhill, and I've had some knee issues in the past with that, so just trying to really build that up and focus on making that really strong. I actually have to look up how many reps I'm doing. I don't even remember. Comment below if your team do your workout in a notebook or on your phone. Okay, 3 sets of 5. All right, so fairly heavy then. That being said, it's only week 1, right? So it's kind of just a chance, like I view the first week of like a program as a chance to sort of feel out the program. I'm not trying to lift as heavy as I can. Oh, lunges. Definitely got to rest after that one. Like January, February, March, April, May. 3 and a bit months away from the actual race. A couple months prior, the rep ranges were a little bit different, a little bit higher. I was more focused on kind of building some muscle. So generally when you're doing that, reps are a little bit higher, whereas now they're a little bit lower, so it's allowing me to lift a little bit heavier and build strength. So it's building strength. It's also building the structure of my body, like my bones, tendons, ligaments, all that stuff needs to be strong and healthy to be able to handle the race. If I was a little closer, it'd probably be too much, to be honest. Especially with like this kind of deep knee bending, I probably will shift my training closer to the race, like a couple months out, so that I can offload some of the fatigue that I'm using for running. I think of this as the build phase, if that makes sense. Might have to take this toque off, but don't mind my amazing haircut. Done by my mom. Thanks, Mom. Something that, as a physio, you kind of realize there's a lot of runners don't necessarily love strength training. They'll do it kind of begrudgingly. Maybe they like know it's good for them, but you know, they don't necessarily love it. I do, but I think it's partly like I kind of came from lifting weights was like my thing. You know, I power lifted, and I've always loved just getting in the gym, hammering the weights and getting a pump. So then I transitioned to running, whereas I think it's not necessarily the case for a lot of people. They just love the feeling that they get from running. One thing I think can help with that perspective shift is viewing it as a way to like build your body for running. It's like a superpower, because you can, if your arms get tired partway through your run, well, now you know you got to work on. If your shoulders are getting tired, now you know what you got to work on. You know, your knees get really sore and achy when you're doing a lot of downhill. So like, guess what? You can use strength training and kind of build that up. So I think that's like a good way to view strength training, because you view it as a way that you can just overcome that adversity or be better at dealing with the adversity that you're getting when you're running. But enough chit chat, I'm gonna do some overhead press. There's some arms in running too, you know? Might be too light actually. Struggle with some of these like exercises where sometimes I feel like one weight's too light and then 5 pounds more is too heavy, and you're like, I don't know what to do there, you know? Now, if it feels I'm barely scraping through that last rep on the first set, it's probably too heavy. I should feel somewhat fatigued after that first set on a set of 5. Like I felt like I could probably do 8 to 10 reps. I'm supposed to do 5. So that's probably just like a little bit too light. That felt a little bit better. Okay, let's figure out what I'm doing next here. Upright rows, 4 sets of 8 to 12. An exercise like this, I don't do as often as something like a squat. You know, squat, I can look at a squat and kind of have a pretty good idea what I can do for sets of 4, sets of 5, etc. But something like this, like, I don't really know, because I don't do them all the time. They kind of cycle in here or there. So how I approach that often is I'll do like a rep range. And if I can do, so I had it 4 sets of 8 to 12. If I can do 4 sets of 12, the next week I'll go up a little bit. Which makes it a little easier. I don't have to think about it as much. If you are a runner and you don't strength train, but you're thinking about strength training, here's some like thoughts for you to think about implementing. Like, one, I think this is like actually get a gym membership. I don't think the best, you can do stuff at home and get a good workout, but I don't actually think it's easier. I think it is actually easier if you get a gym membership and you go to the gym, because they've just got much more options for you to do. And something like, you know, a leg press is super simple to start, to get some good leg work. It has a little, like, very little technique. You know, if you're not gonna get a coach and you're not comfortable with, you know, certain other types of exercises. And then purchase or write out a program. Like, have something to follow. Keep it really simple. You don't need to have like 100,000 complex exercises. It's like the basics really work. Number 3 is you don't have to do it as much as you think. 2 to 3 times a week for 30 minutes, 3 to 5 exercises a session is like gonna be more than enough to just learn and build some strength. You're gonna gain so much really easily at the start. So Dalton just reminded me I actually have some things to plug on these videos. I'm still working on my ability to do this, but we do have an 8-week strength program for runners, made by runners. It is free $99. So be sure to check that out with the link in the bio.
Description below.
Description below. So we saved the best for last. We have literally the secret to unlocking your running, the most important strength exercise that everyone has to do. Are you ready for this? Just tell me if you have experienced bicep tiredness in like a marathon. Let us know below, because I definitely do. I didn't during my actual marathon, but longer training sessions sometimes I would be having to like shake out my arms. So I think they're actually, like, all jokes aside, it's not just for the pump, but I do think there's actually some benefit to doing some like arm training to build up some endurance for your running, right? All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for tagging along. If you did like it, why not give us a like? Maybe comment, you know, if you have any questions for us, we'd love to answer it. Subscribe to the channel. We're on a mission to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. And stay tuned, because we got lots more coming from the Road to Sulphur series. Lots more running related videos and content following my journey to the Sulphur Springs Trail Race in May. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon.